And so success to me, come in close, guys. Success to me is intentionally, daily, realizing a worthy goal, making steps, taking action towards achieving something greater than what I'm doing right now. That's it. That's what success looks like for me every day. What's up, internet friends, founders, and the Entrepreneur Curious? So you've made it, and you're here. It's Venture Daily, news bits from a founder's perspective. What's up, guys? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I'm glad to be a part of your day, and I hope that you are listening and enjoying this wherever you are, whether you're on the road in the morning, on your morning commute, whether you're in the office, or if you're working from home, which tends to be right now the trend in vogue, if I can put it that way, according to all these coronavirus stuff that's going on. I will say I did tweet about this earlier. I'm trying to stay out of the fray because I'm not a big fan of anything that incites massive amounts of fear in anyone. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm just not interested in fear or scare tactics or anything like that. I don't find fear to be a sustainable mechanism and a sustainable incentive to act or to behave in any way. And so I don't want to add any of that. But some of you guys, your companies have decided to do the whole work from home thing. So maybe this is an opportunity for your companies to change. Now, this could be a pretty powerful idea long term in terms of new business practices and policies around how to actually do work when you don't want anyone to actually connect or see each other or be able to touch each other. So, regardless, I'm just glad that you guys are here. Let's get into it. We have 2 news bits today. And the third section, the final part of every show, which is the final word for founders and community, I'm going to be going over the second article. And so let's just talk about it real quick. So the 2 articles that have caught my attention today, the first one is around logo symmetry. Logo symmetry and what your logo says about your brand. Now, for many of you guys out there, this might not be ridiculously practical right now, but for some of you guys who are founders and the entrepreneurs out there, maybe even the Entrepreneur Curious, if you're going to create a logo, you should understand what your logo could mean in many ways, from perception to how people interpret it, right? And so symmetry, I've never really given it all that much thought, so this might be one of those videos where you might want to bookmark it for the future when you are making a logo and come back to this and review what these experts say. And so the first topic we're going to go over is logo symmetry and what it says about your brand. The second thing I want to talk about with you guys today is 4 questions to be more successful. So both of these articles I haven't read yet, but I did briefly go through the 4 questions to be more successful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that article with you guys, limit my color commentary, and during the final section, I'm going to answer those 4 questions for me, and so you guys can hear how that comes out. So this is going to be raw, uncut, as you guys always know. No edits here. We're just going to go and pull it straight from the heart. So that's what we're covering today in today's Venture Daily. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe, tweet it out, let people know. I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. So, what does the symmetry of your logo say about your brand? This is by Hyang Yang. Logos are one of the most important elements of a company's visual identity. They are essentially featured on websites, storefronts, products, and advertisements. They're used to up awareness and boost sales. They are how consumers recognize and differentiate one brand from another. It is no surprise then that brand managers often seek to master the art of creating effective logo designs. Though what is considered effective may vary across products, there are a few golden rules that have been long established in design. Symmetry is perhaps one of the most common. People tend to perceive symmetrical shapes as more attractive and preferable in comparison to asymmetrical ones. Though I will tell you, I kind of enjoy asymmetry when it comes to design. There's just something nice about having something just off the center just a little bit. It's almost off-putting, but at the same time, it creates enough dissonance and tension in that moment where it's like, these guys are doing something different, but that's just me. As such, it is not surprising that brand managers favor using symmetrical logos. In an analysis we conducted on 423 major brands, 95% had logos that were perceived as symmetrical. But despite the large number of companies using symmetrical logos, little has been written about whether such designs can also backfire and harm brand equity. The purpose of our latest research was to figure this out. We started from the premise that symmetrical objects may be less stimulating and arousing, both visually and mentally, than asymmetrical objects. Kind of the whole idea about creating a little bit of uncomfort when they see it's like, oh, that's off-centered. We hypothesized that if this premise was correct, people who view symmetrical logos may feel that the brand is less exciting. That is, in turn, could harm the image and degrade the equity brands that are positioned as exciting. Quote, exciting brands are those that market themselves as cool, trendy, youthful, spirited, imaginative, or daring. Think brands like Mountain Dew, Red Bull, Nike, and Tesla. We tested our propositions on 6 studies. In the first 2 studies, 526 consumers evaluated pairs of logos. Each pair comprised a symmetrical and an asymmetrical version of the same logo, the design of which was kept as simple as possible to allow a robust test of our proposition. In the first study, we asked consumers to select from a list of adjectives the brand sentiments that these logos evoked, i.e., trendy, cool, youthful, or imaginative. In the second study, consumers rated the extent to which these brand logos evoked feelings associated with excitement, or perceived as trendy, cool, youthful, and imaginative, on a 7-point scale, with 7 being the most exciting and 1 being the least. We then compared consumers' responses to symmetrical logos with their responses to asymmetrical logos. In the first study, we found that consumers selected 11% fewer adjectives relating to an exciting brand personality when they were exposed to a symmetrical logo. In the second study, the ratings were on average 17% lower when consumers were exposed to a symmetrical logo as opposed to an asymmetrical one. Basically saying, when it's symmetrical and round, it is what it is. It's a ball. It's like flat Earth, you know? In the two studies, we examined whether compared to asymmetrical logos, symmetrical logos can have a detrimental effect on exciting brands. A total of 370 consumers randomly assigned to one of 8 groups evaluated a brand that had either a symmetrical or a corresponding asymmetrical logo. We manipulated the personality of the brands by varying the adjectives used to describe them. Words such as independent, charming, or down-to-earth were used to establish exciting, sophisticated, or sincere brand personalities, respectively. After reading the brand descriptions and viewing the logo, participants indicated on 7-point scales how much they liked the brand, with 7 indicating that they liked the brand very much and 1 very little. So, I hope that you're tracking with me, and if you're not, that's okay. Right now, I know, there's a lot of numbers in here, guys. Right now, what they're putting together is the framework for how they conducted these tests. And I'm hoping that while we're about to get into the results right here, guys, let's see what they found out. Results showed that the symmetrical logo had a negative effect on brand attitude when the brand had an exciting personality. So, if you want to have a brand that's exciting, and you have a round and symmetrical logo, not round, but if you have a symmetrical logo, it's not going to evoke more excitement from the viewers. More specifically, across these studies, the mean rating for exciting brand was 4.9 when it had an asymmetrical logo, but only 3.9 when it had a symmetrical one. Having a symmetrical versus asymmetrical logo, however, did not make a difference when the brand had a sophisticated or sincere personality. So if your brand is more sophisticated, complicated, complex, or sincere, A symmetrical logo gives peace, calm. It evokes like, hey, these guys are solid. But if you're going for exciting, asymmetrical makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, if I think about it like a symmetrical logo, is like a Honda Civic. Yeah? It's just round. Of course, the latest iterations of these Hondas are I just don't know what these engineers are doing. The current iteration of designs for the Honda Civics and the Hondas is just terrible. But anyway, a symmetrical logo is like a Honda Civic. An asymmetrical logo is like a Lamborghini, right? Hard edges, exciting. Make sense? In the fifth study, we analyzed a secondary data set that included personality ratings of 100 major global brands on 100-point scales, as well as brand attitude ratings that range between 0.10 and 24.3. These ratings were collected via a survey at the Brand Asset Valuator, or BAV, consulted group of Young and Republican, using a sample of more than 10,000 consumers representative of the U.S. population. We supplemented the dataset with ratings from our own survey of 202 consumers. In our survey, we asked participants to rate a symmetry of the logos of those same brands on a scale of 1, very symmetrical, to 7, very asymmetrical. Using a series of regression analyses, we explored the effect of logo symmetry on brand attitude and financial valuation as a function of brand personality. We found that for brands that do not have an exciting personality, symmetrical logos boosted consumer attitudes and, consequently, the brand's financial valuation. This is consistent with prior marketing literature, which suggests that using symmetrical versus asymmetrical logos is beneficial for brands. However, we also found that for brands that have an exciting personality, symmetrical logos were associated with lower consumer attitudes and financial valuation. Overall, our analysis indicated that using a symmetrical logo could, on average, lower brand attitude ratings as much as 3 points for exciting brands. Importantly, in our analysis, we did not find a statistically significant correlation between ratings of brand excitement and ratings of logo symmetry. This indicates that, among these global brands, the ones with an exciting personality were not more likely to use asymmetrical logos than the ones with non-exciting personalities. In other words, the managers of exciting brands were likely unaware of or did not fully consider the potential negative effects of symmetrical logos when making logo design decisions. To further examine this possibility, we ran a follow-up study to see whether commercial art designers were considering the effect we discovered when we make design decisions. We gave the description of an exciting brand to 21 professional designers and asked them which of the two versions of the logo they would advise the brand to use. One version was symmetrical and the other asymmetrical. Results showed that designers were likely to opt for the asymmetrical version, n equals 11, as they were to opt for the symmetrical version, n equals 10, even if the brand was clearly an exciting brand. So what does this mean for your company? What does this mean for your company, guys? Broadly speaking, our findings suggest that brand managers and designers should keep brand personality in mind when redesigning logos. This is because logo design characteristics that are generally considered favorable for brands, symmetry in our research, might backfire when they are inconsistent with brand personality. Brand managers and designers who are creating or modifying a logo should consider using an asymmetrical logo if the brand has an exciting personality. Conversely, when the brand does not have an exciting personality, using a symmetrical logo can be more favorable. Our findings suggest, for example, that the logo of Mountain Dew matches the brand's exciting personality, while the logo of Shell matches the brand's unexciting personality. That's Shell gas, by the way, which is symmetrical. But since it's symmetrical, it shows like solid. Not sexy, not exciting, but it's solid. It's been there for a while. Mountain Dew all over the place. Right, exciting. However, MTV might be better off with a less symmetrical logo. That's actually an interesting point. MTV should probably go with more a jagged approach, especially since MTV is no longer relevant and probably needs to act like Pepsi and keep trying to rebrand their logos and actually never get any traction. That's my opinion on MTV. Leave a comment below if you have an opinion on MTV, but I think MTV pretty much is just garbage, turned into garbage TV. It's no longer music television. It's just garbage. Garbage. Not that I've watched in like the last decade or two, so not that I would know, but I mean, what is it? The Jersey Shore? Is that MTV? I think that was, right? Kleenex, which does not have a strong, exciting personality, might be better off with a more symmetrical one. In conclusion, satisfying the principles of good design, such as symmetry, and relying on unidimensional rules, such as having a good-looking logo, may not be optimal, but harmful in certain cases. Companies that want to craft an effective logo are better off considering how visual design will interact with brand personality. At times, they might find that breaking the rules leads to much more positive outcomes. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this particular article on logo symmetry. I will give you the TLDR right now. It's very simple. If you have a brand where it is relatively unexciting, which I'm hoping none of you guys out there in my listener base are creating brands that are not exciting, but if you are creating a not exciting brand and you want that brand to convey an idea of solid, firm, it's there, it's permanent, it should invoke some sort of not permanence, but integrity, right? Stoutness, being there for a while, right? Firmness, these types of ideas. Go with a symmetrical logo. Makes a lot of sense. Now, if you want to have an exciting brand, this research suggests that you should go with an asymmetrical one because it's more aggressive, it's more exciting, it's more, in your face type of deal. It's pretty easy, right? I don't think you even need to bookmark this video anymore because now you know the answer. So when it comes to creating a brand, well, choose wisely. The symmetry of your brand actually matters. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Next up here, ask yourself these 4 questions to be more successful. This is by Brian Scudamore. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word success? For many, it's the quintessential American dream. Big house, nice car, 6-figure paycheck. But as the world and society evolves, so does the definition of what it means to be successful. While the picture of success is subjective, it can be a challenge to identify your own version of it. But it doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who are willing to put in the work and make their dreams for the future happen. Do you want this year to be your best yet? Ask yourself 4 questions, 4 but simple questions, to get yourself on the right track. Now, I'm super excited about this article. I'm going to go through it in its entirety, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to answer these questions in the final part of today's video. The first question is, what does success look like for me? Success look like for me? Number 1, what does success look like for me? I'm part of the business program at MIT called The Birthing of Giants, where I was fortunate enough to meet Paul Orfalia. Paul is the founder of Kinko's, the go-to place for printing and copying from back in the day that sold to FedEx for a cool $2.4 billion. Cha-ching. I was fascinated by Paul's answer to the question, what is success? He said, that's simple. If my kids want to hang out with me when they are adults, that's success. Think beyond the money and envision the life you want to be living. Do you want to work a 9-to-5 or do you want to set your own schedule? Do you want to pick up your kids from school every day? Do you want a week's vacation or do you want the freedom to take a dream trip every year? Imagine the kind of success you can look back at as a 90-year-old and say, yes, I led a successful life. Now make the basis for every decision you make from here on out. Interesting. An interesting view. I realized I was at the wrong camera angle, but that's okay. An interesting view, guys, of what success looks like for him. For this guy, it's looking back. It's looking back and saying, hey, this is what success looked like for me. I have a different answer, guys. Let's go into number 2. If money was no object, what would I do? I'm going to say no money, no object. Money, no object. What would you do? What would you do? Everyone has played the lottery game where you imagine what you do if you hit the jackpot. Actually, I should talk about that. Lottery. Maybe you travel around the world, buy a boat, or be practical and invest. Now apply that thinking to your career. If you had all the money in the world, what would you still choose to do with your time? If you love helping people, I do. Maybe you should pursue a career that allows you to do that. If your passion is leading teams, consider becoming a project manager or starting your own business. All too often, people let ego and money get in the way of following their dreams. So get curious and find the magical intersection between your skills and passions. Maybe there's a career opportunity just waiting to be discovered. Not bad. Number 3, what's the one thing that's holding me back? Ooh, holding me back. And how can I let go? That's a good one. Number 3. When it comes to achieving your goals, are you your own worst enemy? It's pretty common to let fear and failure or self-doubt stand in the way of living the life you want. Looking back at the past few years and identify one area that you've been putting up your own roadblocks. If you were rejected at your last job interview, it can be terrifying to put yourself back out there. So maybe you're settling for a job that you don't like instead of trying again. If you twisted your ankle the last time you went skiing, it's natural to avoid getting back on the slopes. But negative thinking can be debilitating and won't help you create your dreams. It won't. But negative thinking can be debilitating and won't help you create your dream life. Instead of allowing your past failures to limit you, learn from them and use them as a tool for growth. Number 4 is, what is your guiding North Star? Guiding North Star. That's what I'll answer. What is your guiding North Star as a successful business owner? Wealth was definitely my driving force in my 20s. But when I was offered $100 million to sell my business, I realized something. Of course you realize something. Yeah, that type of injection of capital is life-changing. Sure, the money part is nice, and I'm very privileged. But what truly brings me joy is the journey, not the destination. Easy for you to say, sucker. Imagine if there was one photo that could capture what living the dream means to you. What would it look like? Where would you and who would you be? Where would you be and who would be with you? Crystallize that snapshot in your head and start to figure out what it will take for you to get there. Yes, building wealth will likely be part of that, but for what reason? Few very people, if any, will say that photo shows them standing by a stack of money. What are you working towards? What is it all for? While these questions are a jumping off point to inspire some big success in your year ahead, their true power comes from how you follow through. Once you've taken the time to think about and answer each one, make sure you check back throughout the year to hold yourself accountable. It's a powerful exercise to determine what truly makes you happy, and happiness, after all, is the true definition of success. I would disagree with him there. Happiness is not the definition of success. No way, Jose. This guy's got it wrong, guys. So let's jump in to my final word for founders and community, and I'm going to answer. You guys might like this. I'm going to answer all 4 of these questions around success. What does success look like? Here we go.
Did you know that there's even more value than just audio or video? Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at VC Hunting, and make sure to sign up for the VC Hunting newsletter, where you'll be able to get weekly news on venture capital, startups, founder stories, and the occasional wisdom extracted from Peter's brain. Go to vchunting.com to sign up. And now back to the episode.
Welcome back to Venture Daily, one of the fastest growing daily shows in all of venture media. In today's final word for founders and community, I'm going to answer these 4 questions of what success looks like for me and how to achieve more success. So the first answer I've already gone over many times. I've already gone over this. What does success look like for me? I'll give it to you. Success is the daily realization or the progressive realization of a worthy goal. And I'm pulling this from, was it Dale or Earl Nightingale? Or it's kind of a permutation of what he said. It's success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that you can be successful every day as long as you are constantly working, consistently working, intentionally working every day towards a worthy goal. Are you? Are you slothing it? Are you being lazy? Are you not actually getting up and doing the work? Success That's just it. That's it, guys. That's it. That's what success is, guys. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's waking up every day and knowing that you're putting in the work towards a worthy goal. And yeah, that goal could be 10 years, 20 years out. That's the point. That's by design. That's the whole idea, to have something worth striving for. And so success to me, come in close, guys. Success to me is intentionally, daily, realizing a worthy goal, making steps, taking action towards achieving something greater than what I'm doing right now. That's it. That's what success looks like for me every day. Number 2, if money was no object, what would I do? If money was no object, what would I do? I wouldn't say that I'm in a position where money is of no object, but I'm certainly in a blessed position where money is less of a concern of mine. I'll tell you guys, and I'll actually open up my journal here to some ideas that I wrote down previously. Here you go. A couple things from my journal from the other day. You're going to die, and you have no idea when. I know this is sad, but just stick with me here, guys. You're going to die, and you have no idea when. Everyone you love is going to die, and you don't know when. Your material wealth won't make you a better or happier person. Your obsession with finding happiness is what prevents its attainment. Did you hear that, guys? You're going to die, you don't know when. All your friends are going to die. All the people you love are going to die, and you don't know when. Your material wealth won't make you a better, happier person. None of that's going to make you a better, happier person, guys. I've written this down, and I've realized this over many years. And I'll tell you, guys. What's the answer? If money was no object, what would I do? Money shouldn't be an object that you should. Just like this author was saying, in his 20s, did he pursue wealth? Absolutely. When I was in my 20s, did I pursue wealth? Absolutely. But now that I'm past that, I've realized that at the end of the day, I'm not going to bring any of this with me. And actually, to work and to earn a salary every day, even if it's a small salary, is still good work. It's still honorable and noble work. And so I don't get fazed. I don't get motivated. I don't get incentivized. I don't get swayed. I don't get intrigued by offers of, hey, if you do X, you'll get a big payout and you'll never have to work again. That's actually something I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in having lots of money and not working. I'm interested in getting paid commensurate with the work that I do and feeling good about the fact that I'm earning an income, whether it's large or small. It doesn't really matter. And so for this question, if money was no object, what would I do? It's an invalid question to me because money is always going to be part of the equation. And I feel like for me, earning it till the day that I die is just the way that I'm built. So I enjoy earning it. I enjoy receiving the rewards for my efforts, if that makes any sense. Number 3, is there anything holding you back, and what do you need to let go of? This is a great question. What is holding me back, and what do I need to let go of? I will tell you that there are ghosts in the past. And some of you guys might, if you haven't watched this, go to my playlist, things you didn't learn in school. There is a podcast that I did, a show that I did around not living in the past, or not letting your past hold your future prisoner. Hold your future and present prisoner. And the whole idea around that is so many people live in the past and allow those narratives, the negativity of the past, to determine how they're going to behave in the future. No, everything in the past is in the past. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's something that you live through, but it does not need to have an attachment to today. It does not need to be attached to what you're doing tomorrow. And so, is there something holding me back? I'd say relatively nothing, unless it's the narratives that come into my brain when I'm weak. When I'm weak-minded, when I'm tired, when I'm exhausted, that is when my brain likes to think of the past. Failures, expectations not being met, feelings of failure, feelings of being taken advantage of. Like, these are the things that crop up when I'm tired, I'm weak, I haven't had enough sleep, and I'm fatigued. And that's what holds me back in a day, but it doesn't hold me back in the larger picture. I'm not one to allow the past to hold my present and my future prisoner. And for those of you guys who are out there, founders, you need to know this. You need to move on from the past. The past is gone. Yeah, you were treated unfairly. Yeah, things didn't happen the way you wanted them to happen. Yeah, you didn't get what you wanted. Yeah, things didn't work out as planned. That's life. Move on. Keep going. You got that goal to achieve. So don't worry about the past. Keep moving towards the future. So this answer to what's holding me back, nothing's holding me back unless I let my brain get the best of me, which happens from time to time, I admit. Number 4, what is your guiding North Star? Well, right now, my guiding North Star is pretty easy. I want to work in the venture capital world. And so that's what my plan is, and that's what my goal is for the next decade plus. That's what I'm striving for. And success to me looks like the progressive realization of doing things every day that'll get me closer to that goal. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 4 answers to these 4 questions of how to improve success in your life. Thanks for joining me, guys, today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Leave a comment below and tell me what success looks like for you today. I love your comments, guys. Peace out.